Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth. And if I sound exhausted, it's probably because I have done the intro twice. This is my third time. I'll explain why in a second, why my video has been kind of going all choppy. But anyway, we're back with the XV constraints from NurglesGift. And this is, once again, the X lines. It's the fourth in the series. I've actually only featured two others, so I'm missing one that I will have to come back to at some point. One more thing to mention before we take a look at today's puzzle and rule set is Willpower did drop me a line and pointed out that he has a perfect puzzle for Easter. However, given some of you have left some comments in the past around not explaining why I use certain colors and letters, I'm kind of committed to have to walk you through this during this solve. Let me know if it's okay to do an Easter Monday feature rather than Easter Sunday. I think it kind of works. We're off here in the UK. Anyway, let's take a look at today's puzzle and rule set with XV04 by NurglesGift and the following set of rules. Please excuse all of the existing pencil marks. That's probably from my prior attempt to record this. Rules-wise, we've got normal Sudoku rules apply. Place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row. Every column, of course, every 3x3 box, so nothing unusual here. Cells connected by a black dot must be in a 1 to 2 ratio. So if this is a 2, this would have to be 1 or 4 so that one cell is double the other. Cells connected by an X must sum up to 10. So if this cell is an 8, this would have to be a 2 to make sure that these two cells add up to 10. Cells connected by a V must sum up to 5. If this cell is a 2, this would have to be a 3 so that these two cells add up to 5. Emphasis on all X's and V's are given, so negative constraints apply. So these two cells are adding up to 5, and there's no V between them. That's broken the puzzle. That is not allowed. Then last but not least, we've got the X lines. So two lines of the same length and same color are connected X lines. Counting from the bulb, the first cell of each connected X line sum up to 10, the second cell of each line sum up to 10, etc. And 5 can never be on the line. So I initially panicked when I saw that, thinking we're going to have to figure out which line pairs up with which line, but of course they are all different lengths. So this 3-cell line pairs up with this 3-cell line, 2, 2, 4, 4. I can even highlight them. So on the 3-cell line, if this cell is an 8, the second one, remember that's the bulb end, would have to be a 2 to make sure that these two cells add up to 10. These two cells also add up to 10. You would think that 5s would be allowed because they're in different rows, columns, boxes. That, however, is not the case because 5 can never be on these X lines. So, as always, to play along, link in the description down below for you to do so. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock and see how I get on. Just double checking. Yeah, I'm going to make it visible because every time I played around with showing the numpad, it kind of went all weird on me. So let's give this a go now. Right. So first things first, let's do a bit of coloring. These two cells have to add up to 5. They could be 1, 4. They could be 2, 3. I don't know which one it is. I'm just going to call it blue. If you've got 1, 4 in here, this one would have to be a different pair. So I'm going to call this green. You look across row 5 and row 6. Well, I've got a blue cell in here. I can't have 3 in the same row. So that is green. That will be blue. We can also do a bit of coloring now of these lines. If this is green, this is green. Sorry, excuse me. No, I really misread that one. This would be red-green, and we're going to get onto the letters in a second. Let me just see if I can color anything else before I do so. Short answer is maybe not. I mean, this cell is clearly high digit, and its partner is over here, clearly a low digit, but it doesn't. We don't even know the color. Right, okay. Letters. So, the reason I use particular letters is essentially I just kind of think of it as just algebra. So these are all substitutes for some numbers. I don't know what number they are. Algebra. However, the way I kind of try and remember things is treat it exactly as you would the number pad. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the main reason I kind of do that is it allows me to do things such as if this is A, This would be D, essentially the 1 and the 4. This is B, this would be the C, the 2 and the 3, and it allows me to basically just make some progress with these letters fairly rapidly. Next in here, I actually don't want to do these ones. I'm going to do this pair, B and C, because this B I know pairs up over here with a high digit. And B, just walk across, essentially you're just going diagonally across the E. So that could be straight down, that could be diagonally across, and you'll get to essentially the 2 would be partnered with an 8 with the H. Right, with that out of the way, I'm going to leave the numpad up, not necessarily that I'm going to be clicking on it. But let's see where this takes me. So this is going to be partnered with this. I actually don't know what it is. I mean, I am going to do a bit of that. And GH. And one more thing I am going to do is actually use big letters. Because if I do have any typos, at least it will catch it out early. This is definitely a high digit. Don't know what high digit it is. I only know it's not G or I, so actually I can pencil mark that. Because if it's G, it's adding up to 10 with the C. If it's I, it's adding up to 10 with the A. So this could be H or F. And therefore this partner over here could be B with the H or D with the F, which doesn't exactly help me. This is a high digit again, because we've got all 4 low digits. Therefore, this is a low digit as its partner. And there's really no real constraint other than it's not the partner of this B or C. It basically is. Hang on. No, I do know what it is. I know it's not green. It's blue. And let me walk you through why. So let's just for the sake of argument call this H, which would mean that this would be B, this would be C, this would be B to essentially avoid the negative constraint. But the H would then place a B in here and would conflict. So either I'm going to conflict with this green or I'm going to conflict with this green, which is why it can't be green. So that's blue, and that's a red blue. I don't know which one it is. That's A or D. This cell is not A, B, or C, and it cannot be D. No, it can be. It can be, excuse me. Well, it can be high letters, providing it's not another blue. Otherwise, it would end up with 2 blues next to one another, which we know must add up to 5. So it can't be F, and it can't be I. It could be G or H, and of course it could be D with an F in here. So this is B, C, or F. This is not great, by the way. This is definitely not great. This cell and this cell. So I know it's a high digit because I've got all 4 lows. Therefore, this is a low digit. That could be, as far as I could tell, anything. Okay, this has gotten much harder than I was expecting. Like way harder than I was expecting. Sorry, I've opened the window. I'm actually feeling a bit cold, so I'm gonna hit the pause button for a second. Close the window. Right, much better. I'm not freezing anymore. I'm really struggling. Actually, here are 2 greens. Just whenever you struggle, Sleuth, just do Sudoku. B and C are not here. B and C are not there. Where are they in box 5? Well, if they are consecutive in any shape or form, there will have to be a V, which there isn't. So it's these 2 cells, which tells me this one can't be green. That's blue. That tells me this is green. Remember that negative constraint, sorry, that X line that said that this has to be a low digit? Well, it's not green for sure. This is definitely blue. We've covered all the blues now. So this is green or red. Not helpful. Green or red. Still not helpful. 2 greens in column 6 are, though. That's definitely blue, which tells me this one is definitely green-red. I don't know which one is the high digit and which one is the low digit just yet. I just know it's neither of them could be blue. This cell, however, could still be blue with a... No, it can't be. Reason is even if this is blue, this would be red, but it will definitely add up to 10 with one of these cells. That's kind of the definition. So that has to be another green red, and this is another green red. And now we've colored all the XVs, which is not great news, to be fair. In fact, here is 2 greens. That can't be green, and it can't be blue. It's red, and therefore this is definitely green. This can't be green, otherwise it would add up to 5, so that is red, and therefore this is green. This, its opposite would have to be red. And now we have truly colored all the XVs, not all the XV lines, however, so got 2 more cells to do. Now this is not green. No, it could be blue. If it's D, that'll be F. And that would have to be A. That would have to be I. That's actually fine. G or H would make this B. Okay, that can't be green anymore because B or C would make this green next to another green, and that doesn't work. So that's F, that's D. Okay, which makes this A for sure, makes this D for sure, D and A. Beautiful. D is now in one of these 2 cells. A is in one of these 2 cells. D is in one of these 3. We know that this is AD. This BC goes with G or H. The same G or H over here. And then another BC. Kind of regretting now that I've actually used these ones. That I've actually placed the B and C in here as opposed to there, because it would allow me to resolve a lot more of this. Half tempted to undo that. Half tempted to. May very well do so. So this cell, well, it's not blue and it's not the red-green, and it can't be I because it would put 10 over here. So it's not F, it's not I, it's not G, it's not H, it's not A, it's not D, it's another BC. And therefore this is red. And I am very much tempted now to re-letter these. Is it too late? I don't think it is. I think it's literally just BC, GH, and then I think I'm good from here, aren't I? So BC, BC, and then the third one would partner with this cell, so that's H, and therefore that can't be B, that's C, which means that's G, that's H. Hang on, what? Oh, yeah, it's just red is a terrible color to see the orange bulb, which is here. So the H tells me B, yes it does. The third letter is A, so that tells me I. C tells me this is G, D and F. This cell now is an F because of this D. This was never F. Interesting. How did I get to this being H? It's these 2 cells. Right. So these pencil marks are wrong now. So this is a high digit. This has to be a low digit. It is C or D, meaning this is F or G. Both, no, it can't be F. We've already determined that. So that's definitely G, meaning this is definitely B, not C, and this is C. And the G would partner up with a C over here. This C would partner up with a G over there. And then this black crocodile will hopefully help us figure out what is going on here today. Right, that's green. B has to be in here, just Sudoku. Can't be next to the C. That's green. No A or D. no A's. A's are in here, D's are in there. I mean, the black crop dots are clearly how we're going to resolve what's going on here, but we don't seem to have that just yet. Have I got anything about these? I don't have anything near them to resolve it. So E and I are the remaining letters. These are the remaining letters of F and H. H can't be next to B. F is not here, F is there. E and something, E and G. D is now D and I, yeah. And this is A, not B, C, D, E, F, G, and H. And, well, this is not H, we know that much. The rest of it seems fine, actually. Okay. B and C, can't resolve them. Can't resolve these yet, anyway. So this is EG and something else. EG and H. H is not here, so this is E or G. This is H. No negative constraint to resolve this. G is not there. G can't be here because it'll be next to one of the B's or C's. So this is definitely G, this is E, this is G. You know, once you place an E, you can actually replace them in with fives, but I just enjoy kind of doing that at the very end. Still need an A, which can't be anywhere except here. And then these are known letters of, well, I mean, F and I can't be there. So this is the E. This is F and I. This is a known digit of H. F and I are both red. Then I have E and something. E and I. No constraints. C, of course, gave me a G in here, which hasn't necessarily helped. C is once again on this black crop dot. Interesting. So if this is I, okay, getting ahead of myself, but it is so tempting to take a look at it now, and I don't really want to. B can't be there. B can't be here. B's definitely in there. And they would have to be in some kind of crisscross pattern. Otherwise, I'll end up with a negative constraint with the V. So the important thing is that one of these is green, and therefore I'm done with greens in here. I say the important thing. That wasn't useful at all. I've learned nothing. Well, we know that there is an E in this column, and it's never on a black crop dot because E is definitely 5. It's the only one that is not substituted. So E has to be up here. That is red. These are grays. And then B, C, and F, I. And I can just about pencil mark these fully because this is not C or F, this is B or I. But not enough, really. I'm not going to keep going. G and H are not here. G and H are there. And therefore this is F and I. And we can actually resolve some things. That G tells me this is H, this is G. This negative constraint tells me this is C, this is B. And therefore C, B. And therefore I, B, C. Oh, of course, E. No, hang on. What? Where's my E in here? I've done something silly. I'm going to rewind because this cell has to be E. So rewind, 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 rewind. I don't know what I've done there. Right. Where's 5 in box 8 is the question I should have asked earlier. Well, it's none of these. Can't be on a black crocky dot. It's in here. That's B, that's C. That is way easier than what I was trying to do earlier. Right, so that's my 5. There's a 5 now in here. This Fi tells me there's another F. No, hang on. Yeah, that's C, B. These have to be high digits now. And I'm going to say they are F and I. F can't be next to the D, so that's the I, that's the F, and we know C and F are connected. It will actually also tell me this is D. I actually had that with Sudoku, but a 3 or 4 can only be connected to 6 or 8. It can't be connected to multiple high digits. So that's D, that's E, can't be A. That's now I, and none of these could be E. A and H, nope, still not placed. These two cells are E and Fi. Here's another Fi. Well, it can't be F next to D, so that's got to be I, that's got to be F, that's got to be I. That I gave me E and I over here. And actually that C and B gave me B and C over there. This is not GH, this is GH. G can't be here, that's G, that's H. And then F and E, that's F, that's E, just Sudoku. Reds, grays. No, not resolved. But we've basically got everything else so far. We also know that this is 3 or 4. We'll come back to it. I keep getting ahead of myself. E and I, not resolved. These two cells, I need an A, which can only be in here. And then whatever this cell is, it's a high digit of F. So I need another DH. No D in either of these. Not negative constraint, not Sudoku. So that's D, that's A. That's A, that's H. That's red, that's blue. And I should be able to pencil mark these at least. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and I. No I, of course. So that's the H, that's the I. That's red. And I need a B and a D. D's not here, D's not there, that's D. B could be anywhere. Plus, well, yes, it can be anywhere. Plus an E. B and E. No, not seeing the constraint that's resolving this. Not D, is D. No, no, okay. Can we do anything with the A's? Yes, we can. B and C, no B, C's. C is in one of these cells, it's here. B is not there, is in here. Surprise, still not resolved, but keep going. This cell is just known, H, which tells me that's not B, that's B. E, B, I, E. I need an I, which is none of these, not here, that's I. I need an F, which is here. Got A, B, C, D, E. I haven't got E, that's E, F, and then G. So that's all of the letters now placed, and then of course we will now need to figure out what the black crocky dots are telling us. Whoops. Right. So, first obvious statement. This is a high digit of 3 or 4, as in from the 1, 2, 3, 4 group, because this is 6 or 8. So, if this is 3, this would be 6. And it can't be 3 because it needs to be connected to 2 different digits. 3 is not. So C has to be 4. Therefore, B to add up to 5 has to be 1. G would have to be 6. H would have to be 9. 4 is connected to a 2. A would be a 3. E's would be 5s. A was connected to I, which is 3 would be 7, and then F's would be 8s for the solution. Fantastic puzzle as always, NurglesGift. Yeah, not a lot more to say really. It's just I love the series, I love the X-line constraint, and I love how involved this coloring and resolution is becoming. But hope you guys enjoyed the puzzle and the video and my walkthrough of why I'm using these letters and colors. And I'll see you back soon. Bye-bye for now.